at the 2-second one, he don't touch me. I was like, the 2-second one. And then the referee come stop me. I said, why you stop me? I asked the referee, why you stop me? He don't answer me. I said, why you stop me now? Why?
Because you're coming on too strong.
That's why I want to know why you stop me.
Looking dangerous.
And then it was a 10 round, right? But I was supposed. I told my coach like, okay, this round, I'm gonna let him do everything, and then 11 and 12 round, I'm gonna give everything. I'm gonna give everything, and the referee stopped the fight.
Those are the words of Carlos Takem as he reflects the fight he had with Anthony Joshua, the two-time heavyweight champion of the world, and he states that that particular fight was stopped too soon. Now, I'm glad that he did mention this because a lot of times people use all types of excuses when they lose, but when someone decides to stop the fight, especially on the way certain fights are stopped, it does make you scratch your head. And in this particular situation, I'm glad that this has been resurfaced because I do think the Carlos Takem Anthony Joshua fight was stopped prematurely. I've always thought that. I think in the UK, I think a lot of fights are stopped. I know safety-wise and things of that nature, but they're quickly stopped over there, if you notice. Look at all those damn Daniel Dubois fights. Those guys could have continued, but they were waved off quickly. This was another example, but this fight was 10 rounds. Maybe the ref looked at it through the duration of the punishment that he took, and anybody that follows my channel knows that a lot of boxers, unfortunately, that's how they end up dying because of the constant brutal punishment that they've taken over that time. Okay? Not really that one big punch that knocks you out, or that Wilder punch, or that David Tua punch, Tyson punch. Those type of punches, I'm talking about the type of punches that you keep getting and taking, or these fighters keep getting and taking, that really cause brain swelling over time. And then when your adrenaline lowers, that's when the swelling occurs and could, kill you. And a lot of people have died that way. So maybe he was looking at that, but the way and the timing when he decided to stop the fight was off. I went back and I saw that fight, and I did wonder, like, okay, he was weaving under those, Takem was weaving under those shots, and he missed 2 of these shots before the ref called it off, and he asked him, why did you stop him? If you heard he didn't even respond. I don't really like that type of situation. Other referees, here in America, stop fights like the Pitwrong versus Jacobs fight, where he hit Jacobs. Jacobs went down, and Robert Byrd pushed down his chest to keep this man from even getting up. In this situation, Takem was on his feet, as he said that he was planning to give everything he had in the 11th, 12th round. I think more fighters counterpunching this. I think that fight was stopped prematurely, right? Now, was he winning? No, he was not winning. However, you give the man the opportunity to do what he needs to do, because the heavyweight, in boxing at all, it takes one punch to change that whole fight. You see what I mean? So I think that referee should have gave him the benefit of the doubt, but I also think that a lot of those fights, again, are stopped prematurely over there, because I've seen them, okay? And they have the fighter with the momentum and that's knocking people out. They mostly, well, this is not going to work. Let me save that other fighter for the sake of taking more punishment. So you can look at both sides, but at the same time, it was stopped too quickly. It was stopped too quickly because, if you got a game plan to let this guy tire out, and and you're using more defense, and you're letting this guy punch himself out. And then we know Joshua earlier that year in 2017 punched himself out against Klitschko. So why wouldn't it have been a good idea to do? You see what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, that particular fight was a bad stoppage. It was, and me in closing, that's why I always advocate for referees like Jack Reese, okay? Jack Reese is the same referee that refereed the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder first fight. Okay? And a lot of people gave him slack and criticized the way he allowed Tyson Fury to get up. Because what normally happens with referees see the magnitude of the punch, okay? The magnitude of the punch and how the punch was landed and how it impacted the fighter. And they see that fighter go down and they look at that fighter. Based off that by himself, that will trigger a referee to stop the fight, normally. But Jack Reese is a different type of referee. Why? Because he gives the benefit of the doubt. Okay? That's what he does. That's what he's always done. It would have been fishy if he just done that for that particular fight, but he always does that. He always lets these guys, he counts them until they get up, then he sees how they are, he sees their condition. Most importantly, he looks at their eyes and he looks at their legs. If their legs are all limp noodle and like spaghetti strings, okay, wave this sucker off. Or his eyes don't look right, wave this sucker off. But in this situation with Jack Reese, he looked at Tyson Fury, he watched Tyson Fury, okay, and he let that fight go on. Okay, now, to compare that to this Takem fight, if Takem and Joshua would have had Jack Reese in that fight, that would have been a totally different fight. Who knows what could have been the outcome of someone giving it their all in 11th and 12th rounds, because they did not get the opportunity, but they would have got that with Jack Reese. So again, I commend referees like that, because it's already a brutal sport. I get it, and I know we're trying to save lives, you know, and referees are responsible for that. But at the end of the day, don't take opportunities from these fighters that already put their lives on the line. Counterpunch. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Carlos Takem saying that fight between him and two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua was stopped early. Give me your thoughts. Leave your comments below. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.